Hello guys and welcome to the channel. Bebarol here today with Labyrinth build for Ranger, my own build. If you know me, I already like to play Ranger everywhere and I mean it in every game mode. So when it comes to something as time consuming and brain aching like farming in a labyrinth, I do not like to go with another class. I tested it multiple classes actually, but not much of the builds people share. I kept testing stuff of my own and this worked the best for me. I know it's not the top, since I couldn't reach the 500 bag like at all. The maximum I was able to reach was 400 bags, and honestly a lot depends on the group and squad and how they perform. And usually I would go between 300 to 350. So if you're still interested in the build, continue. If you're not, that's up to you. Now, this build have multiple benefits and perform really good in the lab for different reasons. Why? It's not selfish. It's think about others way too much. For a start, it's a condition healing build, so we can support others. We even have a trap to cleanse them, regeneration, we have Celestial Avatar, and the staff. And we use a power weapon, which is the staff, on a condition build, and the auto attack is extremely low, so there is always a room for others to hit. That's why in this build you want to be like even before your commander, or you be the commander. Something like this can hit the mobs and no one will be complaining. You would remove like 5% of the mobs at the top. So you don't need to remove your trinkets or anything of that on this build because your damage is already really low. You do not need to follow the typical rule, as people say. And that make you extremely tanky still and strong enough to fight against legendaries. Super addition. And healing others and cleansing them too, so you can help a lot of people. And you don't support others through boons, so you don't empower them to kill mobs fast or something like this, which we don't want on farm. But you can heal them and cleanse them, so you help keep them alive but not making them strong. You still have also a lot of AoE through traps, entangle, ancient seed, and jacaranda with an AoE hit on a 10-second cooldown, and even Celestial Avatar with your short bow piercing, so you can tag a lot of mobs and even front of doors, hitting mostly everything. And also, since you're learning the first one, you also have high movement speed all the time with lower movement embedding condition 33%, and also all condition you share it with your bit was 50%, so even when mobs give you immobilize, it will be removed in less than 1 second. And that's what makes this build really good for mobility, good for damage, and good for survivability and even support. Now, without further ado, there is not much to explain gear. I didn't even buy anything. If you're following me for a while, this is the same gear as World vs. World. I didn't change anything because it doesn't matter. So it is a healing condition tank style with toughness, vitality, and healing. Only my short bow is Trailblazer and my back. Everything else is Shaman and Apothecary. I use the Rune of Krite, Sigil of Agony and Malice, Sigil of Agony and Energy. Like I said, this is a World vs. World gear. So if you find the staff a little bit low, or it will always drop from mobs, it is enough. But if you find not enough, or like you don't have any extra damage and people hitting too fast or something, you can change the staff for a power staff and you still have really low damage. The staff is great for that. And even actually the staff have a line of hitting of 90 degrees from your character, so you would be moving and never stopping. You will always be tagging and hitting, and even once you press an auto attack on a mob, like let's say that's a mob, I target it, I press auto attack, and then I target another one and I press auto attack. The first auto attack will hit first and then the second, so you will be going to the same motion and still tagging everything with the mob, the staff doing it on its own, not you, which makes it a really good weapon for something like this. Now for the traits themselves, I go skirmishing, wilderness survival, and druid. For skirmishing, you don't change anything with this. It is stable like that. We go supporting traps, higher bleed damage and piercing for short bow to tag all mobs, of course, and hitting everything, and the higher damage and trap since we're using trap, and to when on short bow in front of doors and legendaries, we need the damage, of course, so it makes more sense. For wellness survival, I like to go, this was the wrong trait, actually I was testing something, but you can actually take anyone from this. I like for the high survivability take lesser muddy terrain and breaking defiance bar, using slow and immobilize on legendaries. But you can take lesser damage on regeneration since you have a lot of it, and you can take test for danger to increase your vitality and expertise since we're using poison and burning too. But I'd like to use this all the time. And higher condition damage and also empathic bond, which will make the immobilize that mobs put on you, like I said, be removed too fast, and all the spamming condition also be kinda irrelevant. Extremely tanky against condition, and with a good survivability against power, this build will perform really good. And Druid, you can for the first line take anything also. I would like to take the higher condition removal to survive even in most difficult situation. Like when I get bumped by condition, I will just enter Safety Avatar like a survival button. But you can take healing for the people around you. You can take days and lower cooldown for the staff, but I find the survivability perform better since I'm already doing good with healing and stuff, so this one's the choice for me. The other one you don't change for the movement speed, of course, and lower condition, and Ancient Seed since we can trigger days on Safety Avatar 3, and then 5 to trigger Ancient Seed on every mob around us. So it would be an AoE damage, and now there is an AoE, that's an AoE, that one, and Jacaranda also on a 10-second cooldown with our short bow, and this is how I fight in front of doors. I'll be showing some footage for you to see exactly how this is working, but I will tell you in general how I do it right now, and then you can see for yourself. When I'm running behind the commander, I'll be on staff only, using this to catch up if I'm late or something, and triggering auto attack on a mob. Before the auto attack trigger, I'll go to the other mob, like using tab or my mouse, and trigger auto attack. The first one you did will hit first. It will not actually go to the second mob and cancel what you did. It will hit both. If there is few mobs in the same line, I would trigger the last one of them, so the beam would go through right all of them, up to 3 targets. And Jacaranda will be keeping her damage by herself. I usually don't change Jacaranda at all since it is the lowest cooldown on an AoE skill, with a tanky bit of course, but the other one is Iboga. You could even go to it to break defense bar or something and still have an AoE. Now, in front of doors, it starts becoming a little bit different. I become in short bow. I don't change to staff at all. I'll be putting a trap, moving a little bit, putting the other trap, so I would tag all the mobs, not putting them on the same one, so only 5 getting hit. I'll be moving, piercing with skill 2 through all of them, triggering this for a trap to trigger Ancient Seed, triggering Entangle. So I would be moving my attacks on a different position, like here, 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 behind them, here. I don't stand still. I move in a small circle to be able to hit all of the mobs that I want to hit. If you stand still, you have only maximum 5 targets, so always do that. Even with other builds, you would kinda need to do that. And I can heal under the mobs, so everyone start cleansing. Those bleeds and immobilize can be a little bit insane sometimes. And this is how you can help others. And also you could use Glyph of Equality. So when you enter Safety Avatar, you use Natural Conversion immediately to trigger Ancient Seed. No need to use Lunar Impact, which is skill 3. And that's about it. You just auto attack through all the mobs and skill 2. And you can even spam your skills if you want, and off cooldown you keep putting traps while moving a bit so you hit different mobs in the area. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you like it or give it a try if you like Ranger. And now I'm gonna leave you with some footage, and I'll be seeing you next time.
All alive. The devil's in the detail, and good inside. everything that brought me alive. Though we're all like monsters, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a rebel's fight without an alibi. We took my innocence without an alibi. Smoking gun, you got me on the run. We know that will come. We're out up till dawn, but how can I hide it without an alibi? It's a rebel's fight without an alibi. Took my innocence. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Oh, we're all like monsters, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi.